Mobile Speed Camera Zone.
Here is FindView's flagship dashcam that is made in South Korea and is also very popular there. When I first saw this dashcam in pictures, I was thinking to myself how big and bulky it looks. But when I received it, unboxed it, and picked it up in my own hands, I was surprised at how compact it was. The frontal area, or footprint, is quite small, which will mean a clean and stealthy install. This is a 2K dashcam that offers some good features like parking mode and speed camera alerts, and includes accessories you don't need to add to the cart when purchasing. Does the GX300 excel as a flagship dashcam? Let's dive right in. Fracking Creations, showing you the good stuff. Just a quick disclosure that this is not a paid or sponsored review. However, Blackbox My Car did send me this unit for free to review. I do get to keep the dashcam after, but I am not otherwise compensated for my work on this video and am told to provide an honest review. If you are looking for a dashcam, I will provide our affiliate links with a discount in the video description below to this and other dashcams, along with resources for installing a dashcam yourself. Build quality, look, and feel. Right from the start, I am already liking the build quality. The plastic used seems to be high quality and the fit and finish are top notch. It feels solid and the buttons give a confident feedback and click. Overall, I actually like the build better than the GX33, and that one was built well too. As I mentioned earlier, this dashcam has a small footprint, and when compared to the FindView GX33 and the Blackview DR650GW, it looks quite compact and stealthy. Resolution HDR. The GX300 does perform well for a 2K resolution dashcam. The picture is sharp and is at the resolution the specs say. Note that the front camera is at Quad HD resolution at about 12 megabits per second bitrate, while the rear offers Full HD at about 8 megabits per second bitrate. Both are at 30 frames per second. Nowadays, you should not go lower than Full HD for a decent dashcam. As a lot of people are concerned with high resolution nowadays, I'd like to mention that it isn't the only thing that makes a dashcam useful. Reliability, ease of use, parking mode, and software and firmware updates are some of the other features just as important and round out the capabilities of a good dashboard security camera installed in a vehicle. Note that sometimes how the scene unfolds is just as important even without the ultra-high resolution details. The GX300's front camera uses a Sony Starvis IMX335 sensor, which is great for daytime and low-light conditions. Take a look at the video to see what the front and rear cameras can capture. Just note that when playing this video back, you may be playing back at a lower resolution, so check your YouTube settings. Check out the HDR feature on the front camera that helps to balance out the bright and dark areas for a more accurate reproduction of what your eyes see. In my other video, I reviewed the GX33 from FindView, which has Full HD for both the front and rear cameras. Let's take a comparison look at what the GX300 can do compared with the GX33. Notice that the details of the license plate are clearer from the GX300 from the same distance out. One thing I did find a bit peculiar is that the field of view of the front camera is a lower 122 degrees. Other cameras seem to provide more, like the GX33, which is at 134 degrees. That said, 122 degrees is still enough to cover most of the front windshield area, and you can't tell too much difference between the GX33 and the GX300. I did notice something with the HDR feature on the GX300 that I notified FindView of. They did acknowledge it and are looking into it. When the HDR feature is turned on, the captured video seems patchy in some areas, and the overall image when compared to the GX33 does not seem as well balanced and is a little darker, as can be seen here. Note that this doesn't seem to happen all the time and only under certain lighting conditions. I do believe it to be something that can be adjusted in the firmware, so hopefully this is improved in a later firmware update. Just look at what a little color editing can do. Until that's fixed, you have the option of turning HDR off if you want. I do think that the HDR feature is still good to have enabled though. However, in either case, the image is still sharp and the dashcam will still do what it's intended to do in capturing driving and parking mode footage. Driving mode. The GX300 offers 3 different recording modes for driving: standard, time-lapse, and 15 frames per second. Good enough for meeting varying needs. Choose standard mode to capture every moment as normal recordings with impacts or events being captured as event recordings. This makes it easier for you to track down footage of interest. Similar to the GX33, the GX300 has buffered recordings. This means that whenever an event such as an impact from an accident or motion detected during parking mode is triggered, A video file is created that contains about 10 seconds before and after the event. Good stuff for making sure you have footage leading up to the event, all packaged in one video file. Time-lapse will allow you to save memory card storage and allow you to capture more in case you don't want to get a larger memory card but need to capture more footage. This mode will allow you to capture up to 5 times more. It captures every moment as a time-lapse video without audio, but will switch to standard recording with audio if an impact is detected so that you have full video and sound of the incident. You can also choose 15 frames per second, which is the in-between setting of the two other modes in terms of storage use. I did not test this out, but I think it should allow up to 2 times more footage if the bitrate doesn't change when using this setting. Parking mode with battery protection. One of my favorite features of dashcams is the parking mode. When you hardwire your dashcam properly, you will be able to have it run when your vehicle is turned off because it is still powered directly by the vehicle's battery. It's not too hard to do with an essentials kit like this one offered by Blackbox My Car. It comes with a circuit tester, fuse tabs, and fuses for you to do yourself. In parking mode, this dashcam allows 3 modes of operation: motion, smart time-lapse, and 15 frames per second. In motion mode, the dashcam continually monitors the scene and will only record a video if motion is detected in either the front or rear camera or an impact is detected. Note that some low-quality dashcams only detect motion from the front camera. This is another reason to stick with quality brands like FindView, where features are not half implemented and you only find out after you purchase it. In the case of an event being triggered, the dashcam will record a buffered video that includes the 10 seconds before and after the motion or impact event. Quite handy to not miss the action leading up to and after the event. The smart time-lapse and 15 frames per second settings work similarly to what I described in driving mode. One thing I do like about the impact detection of the GX300 is that with the impact sensitivity set to high, it is actually pretty good at detecting small impacts. See how it can detect me lightly hitting on the rear taillight of the vehicle in this clip. As mentioned before, you can see that the impact recording captures the 10 seconds before and after the impact. Though this won't necessarily catch all small impacts, this is some good stuff, not too bad at all. To power your dashcam, you could always go the easy route, which is to buy and use a 12-volt cigarette lighter cable for easy installation or temporary use until you have time to learn how to hardwire install yourself. But then you won't have parking mode. So I do highly recommend a hardwire install for your dashcam. You can also get it installed professionally if you aren't comfortable doing it yourself. With the GX300, you also don't have to worry about draining your car battery to the point you can't start your vehicle, since this dashcam includes battery protection. You just configure the settings accordingly based on voltage cutoff or number of hours that's suitable for you. If you need longer runtime in parking mode, consider getting a battery pack for your dashcam. You can even add an expansion battery to get even more battery capacity. If you are interested, I've included links to purchase the GX300 fuse kit and battery packs along with a tutorial on hardwire installations in the video description below. Save 5% using our links at checkout. Built-in GPS. The GX300 comes with a built-in GPS, so no additional modules to buy or install. Captured videos have companion GPS data for exact location, speed, and time in case it's needed. The GPS on this dashcam connects fairly quickly and has been reliable in all my use so far. The nice thing is that the time is automatically and correctly set once the GX300 is connected with the GPS satellites. As long as you correctly set the time zone and summertime settings, your dashcam will automatically get the accurate time. No need to manually set it. Note that if you need to access the GPS location and speed data for the video, you will need to remove the memory card and access it on a computer using the FindView player on Windows or Mac. Operating temperature. When looking for a dashcam, make sure that it does have an operating range that is suitable for where you want to use it. In general, a high operating range is ideal. Dashcams tend to get hot when operating, since encoding video in Full HD resolution or higher, and for 2 cameras at 30 frames per second, is intensive work. Add on top of that the radiant heat from the sun, and you definitely want the operating temperatures to be higher for more buffer room and longevity of the dashcam and memory card. The GX300 has a very high operating temperature range of -20 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius, while the included memory card range is -30 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. These ranges are plenty to work with and surpass some of the other top names in the business. Note too that the GX300 has high temperature protection, so that if the ambient temperature in the dashcam exceeds the max temp, the dashcam will power down to protect itself and your memory card. cheaper dashcams may not do this, resulting in a dashcam LCD screen or memory card that fails sooner. Apps, software, firmware. Any good dashcam must have easy-to-use software to allow easy access to the files and settings of the dashcam, and the GX300 delivers. Because the same software and app are used for the GX33 and the GX300, I've had a lot of time to use both the Windows Player and the Android app just by testing and doing the reviews of both dashcams. I can honestly say that they work quite well without too many confusing options and settings to configure. It gets the job done. Both apps are easy and straightforward to use and allow you to do what is necessary, like filtering, downloading, and playing back your footage and performing firmware updates. Updates support. It's important that for the dashcam you get, the company behind it is supporting it to continually improve it and get rid of defects. FindView seems to be active on that front, which is a good thing. Over the course of my review for the GX33 and GX300, there have been updates for the Windows software, Android app, and dashcam firmware that I have applied, and in general, it seems to be improving the product. There was one update that caused an error for one of the settings pages for the GX33, and when I notified FindView, they provided an unofficial update for me to test. It fixed the problem, and so that version of firmware should be pushed out in a future official release. Unlike cheap low-end dashcams with low-quality software that are cumbersome to use and don't get updates often, you can tell that the user experience is part of what the FindView brand is trying to offer in its products. I've had a chance to communicate with FindView's team, and they really do seem to want to resolve issues and make improvements for the issues that I found and improvements I suggested. As with any product, it is so important that the manufacturer supports the product you buy from them so that you get a good user experience in the end. The GX300 also comes with a 3-year manufacturer warranty where other top brands only provide 1 year. So sticking with a good brand like FindView is not a bad thing. Advanced Driver Assistance System. Like the GX33, the GX300 does include an ADAS that includes 4 features: front vehicle motion alert, on-time notification, speed camera notification, and driving rest notification. Of the 4, I found the speed camera notification to be the most useful. This is great for when you travel somewhere you're not familiar with.
Mobile speed camera zone.
It will notify you of 7 types of traffic cameras and includes red light, speed, mobile, and average speed cameras. Though it may not know of all cameras such as mobile ones that can pop up anywhere and anytime, the database is supposed to be updated quarterly, so that should help keep things as up-to-date as possible on your dashcam. Included in the box, you get the 2 cameras, installation mounting hardware, the microSD memory card and adapter, plus the rear camera cable, hardwiring cable, and user manual. Some dashcams don't include the hardwiring cable, memory card, or GPS, so it's nice to have these included so you don't need to add them to the cart when you buy. Note that you will still need the fuse tabs and spare fuses in order to hardwire your dashcam. Since there are different fuse sizes in different vehicles, this is not included, so make sure to add a fuse kit to your order. As for the memory card, a FindView branded card is included in the box. I was expecting to see the same Samsung Pro Endurance card that came with the GX33, since this card is made specifically for security cameras and dashcams. That said, the included card should be sufficient as the specs should be enough to meet the requirements of this dashcam. Final comments. Overall, the GX300 is a good dashcam. You install it, configure it, test it, and forget it. It records, detects, plays back, and updates properly. It just works. I've had a good experience so far with FindView dashcams after testing both the GX33 and GX300. They both have been very reliable for me thus far, and FindView is continuing to support it through updates, which is good to see. The GX300 is a strong performer, is easy to use, comes with a 2K front camera, and has parking mode with battery protection. The support and warranty of 3 years definitely gives some comfort knowing that if you have defective hardware, you are covered for longer than other dashcam manufacturers. If you want to get the FindView GX300 or GX33, find links to them in our video description below.